morning from Tucson, Arizona. My name is Holly and I will be taking over ITA's Instagram stories and talking to you about the online companies I teach with and also why my family's move to Germany did not work out this summer. Every day I wake up at 3:30 and teach from 4 to 7, and then the rest of the day I am free so I can spend time with my 1-year-old daughter while my husband works. I completed my TEFL certificate online and I got some of my practicum hours at a school here in Tucson before I went to Germany, and then I finished my hours teaching online. So I just finished teaching my classes for the day. My daughter is still sleeping, so that's great. I can go enjoy some of my coffee. And I'm gonna go over some of the requirements and everything with the companies I teach with next. So with VIP Kid, I make $8 base pay per class. That is for 25 minutes, and then I also get incentives. I also get $9 for GoGo Kid as my base pay plus incentives. I only work 15 to 20 hours a week, and I am easily able to make around $1,500, sometimes more a month. With GoGo Kid, there's even a $300 sign-on incentive if you finish 3 classes and get no negative feedback in your first 30 days. You do need a bachelor's degree for both companies. There's no minimum requirements for how many hours you have to teach each week either, so you can switch it up. If you need to take off, you can take off and just not open any of your slots for that week. You also need any kind of experience with children, whether that is teaching, which I've never taught before teaching online, or coaching or tutoring, anything helping in your church's nursery, anything relating to helping kids or teaching. You also need to legally be able to work in the United States or Canada. It does not matter where you live in the world, it could be anywhere, but as long as you can legally work within the United States or Canada. I did not need a TEFL certificate to be able to work with these companies, so you can still apply if you have a bachelor's degree, but having a TEFL certificate does look good as well when getting hired, and it's also added to your teacher profile. So the city we tried to move to was Leipzig, which is basically the new Berlin. It is a university city, so there's a lot of young people and there's so much to do, and it's just absolutely beautiful. We loved it. The peak hiring months are September and January, but we decided to go early July because we just couldn't wait, and I was going to be done with my TEFL certificate in July, so we were just ready to go. So we actually went to Berlin for 2 weeks in July because we wanted to check it out and see how we liked it. And we thought we were gonna like it so much, we sublet a flat for 2 weeks and we were kind of stuck there. Berlin was just a little too crowded for us, and we realized that after just 2 days. So we had spent all of our money on that lease and we couldn't really go back to Leipzig until we were done paying for that. So because we did that, we delayed looking for a flat in Leipzig, and you cannot apply for your visa in Germany until you have a permanent residence. It actually wasn't that hard for me to find jobs in Leipzig. The problem was we didn't have a flat, so we had an address for those letters of intent so we could start the visa process. We could have actually started looking for a flat before we arrived in Germany, but we didn't because things were so hectic here before the move. We actually found a place to live at the end of July in Leipzig. We were actually about to sign the contract for our flat that we found, but after going over our budget, we realized we wouldn't have enough to last us until our visas came in. Your freelance visa can take up to 3 months to get, and you can't work with those German companies until you have it. Even though I could have taught online until then, it wouldn't have been enough to provide for us until then. Even if our visas were finished within a week, we still couldn't risk the chance of not making enough money for our family because it does take a while to build up that clientele teaching as a freelancer in another country. saved enough money to last us about 3 months, and that's what we had, but we probably should have saved more since we are a family of 3, and there were some unexpected costs that came up along the way. So when I'm not teaching in the mornings, I get to spend my day with my 18-month-old daughter, Evelyn. So I'm really thankful I get to work from home in the mornings and still make a really good income. I never really gave much thought to teaching English online, so I'm really glad I had this experience over the summer because I needed to finish my practicum hours, and so I was able to do that online. So I'm glad that now that I'm back, I at least already have a job. So after we realized we weren't going to be able to stay in Germany, we decided to have a mini vacation before we had to go home. So we spent the last 10 days in France. Thankfully, from teaching online, I had enough money to last us a little bit of time in France and also to fly back home. That money wouldn't have been enough to last us in Germany, but at least we were able to use it for something fun. So I have my TEFL certificate to show in my teacher portal online, and hopefully one day I'll also be able to use it while teaching abroad later in the future.